Proverbs 3 verse 5 is a well-known and beloved verse in the Bible that has been cherished by millions of people throughout history. In this verse, we are encouraged to trust in the Lord with all our heart and to not lean on our own understanding. But what does this really mean, and how can we apply it to our lives? First, let's take a closer look at the context of this verse. The book of Proverbs is a collection of wise sayings and teachings that provide practical advice on how to live a good and successful life. It was written by King Solomon, who was known for his wisdom and insight, and it contains many valuable lessons that are still relevant today. In chapter 3, Solomon begins by exhorting his readers to keep God's commandments and to not forget his teachings. He promises that if we do this, we will enjoy long life, prosperity, and peace. He also encourages us to be kind and generous to others, to seek wisdom and understanding, and to trust in the Lord with all our heart. But what does it mean to trust in the Lord with all our heart? It means that we should have complete confidence in God and His plan for our lives, even when things are difficult or confusing. We should acknowledge that our own understanding is limited and imperfect, and that we need God's guidance and wisdom to navigate life's challenges. This is easier said than done, of course. It's natural for us to want to rely on our own knowledge and experience, to try to figure things out for ourselves. But the problem is that our understanding is often clouded by our own biases, prejudices, and limitations. We may think we know what's best for us, but in reality, we may be missing out on God's best for us. So how can we learn to trust in the Lord with all our heart? Here are a few practical steps we can take. Pray for guidance. When we're facing a difficult decision or a challenging situation, one of the best things we can do is to pray for God's guidance and wisdom. We can ask Him to show us the right path, to give us clarity and discernment, and to help us trust Him more fully. Seek wise counsel. It's also helpful to seek advice from wise and trustworthy people who can offer us a different perspective on our situation. This might be a pastor, a mentor, a friend, or a family member who has experience and wisdom in the area where we're struggling. Study the Bible. The Bible is a rich source of wisdom and guidance, and we can learn a lot about God's character and His will for our lives by studying it regularly. We can also find comfort and encouragement in its pages, and be reminded of God's faithfulness and love for us. Surrender control. One of the hardest things about trusting in the Lord is letting go of our need for control. We may be tempted to try to manipulate or orchestrate our circumstances to get the outcome we want, but this can lead to frustration, anxiety, and disappointment. Instead, we can surrender our desires and plans to God, trusting that He knows what's best for us and will guide us accordingly. Practice gratitude. Finally, it's important to cultivate a spirit of gratitude and thankfulness in our hearts. When we focus on all the blessings that God has given us, we are reminded of His goodness and faithfulness, and we are more likely to trust Him with the challenges and uncertainties that come our way. In conclusion, Proverbs 3 verse 5 is a powerful verse that speaks to the importance of trusting in God with all our heart and not relying solely on our own understanding. It's about recognizing that God is there to guide us through life and that we should be humble and open to His will. Trusting in God has many benefits. It can bring us peace and comfort in times of stress or anxiety. It can also give us hope and a sense of purpose, knowing that we are following God's plan for our lives. By trusting in God, we can also experience a deeper sense of love and connection with Him. I hope this video has been helpful in understanding the meaning behind this verse, and I encourage you to apply it to your daily life. Thank you for watching.